the light and power.
I'm Curt Atkins with Waverly Power, the Energy Services Manager with the utility. One of my jobs that I do for our customers at the utility is to go out and do energy audits in customers' homes. And inside the homes, when I do those energy audits, I'm looking for air leaks inside the house. When I'm looking for those air leaks in the home, it's typically around doors and windows where window gaskets may go bad, create that air leak or that draft. And if you do, there's some things that you can maybe do to stop those air leaks. One of those things that you can do around doors and windows is a gasket kit that is fairly inexpensive to put on. It's got a foam padding that goes around the perimeter of the door or the outside of the door frame, and that will stop one area of air leaks around doors. On windows, we typically recommend using some sort of window film kit that goes around the window of the home that's inside the house, or the film goes around the inside perimeter of the window frame inside the home. You can check for air leaks by simply, on a windy day, by taking your hand and going around a door frame or or outlet or a wall switch. And that's what this is trying to demonstrate here today, is what that might look like or what it might feel like. On the outlets, you pretty much can just put your hand right over the front of the outlet on a windy day and you can feel some sort of draft or feel the air coming through that opening. On a wall switch, it would be the same thing. If you just put your hand over it, you'd be able to feel an air leak coming through there. What this demonstrates here today is what those air leaks would look like if you could see it. If you could see that air coming through an outlet or a wall switch plate. A wall plate that would not have a foam insulator or gasket on it would definitely show signs of air leakage, as it demonstrates here with the smoke leaking out. Kind of speed that up a little bit and show that smoke coming out of the outlet. To stop that air leak around the outlets is just by installing a foam insulating gasket over the outlet cover or behind the outlet cover. It's a fairly simple process to do. Mostly take the outlet off, the faceplate off, put the foam gasket on, put the cover back on. Another source of air leakage that occurs that we see is also through the plugs as well, where like if you're plugging a clock or something into the outlet, you could actually have air leakage occurring through the receptacle plugs. The way to stop that is like a child safety cap. Some of you may have seen these before, but they're fairly inexpensive to install. If you're in outlets that you're not using, to use a child safety cap in them. We also look at customers' appliances. One appliance that we really focus in on is a refrigerator. The reason why we look at refrigerators is because of the use that they get throughout the day. And the one area that gets a lot of wear and tear is the door gaskets around the refrigerator door. These gaskets will a lot of times start showing signs of like rust or mildew starting to build up. That's a fairly easy fix. That's something that basically can just be cleaned off to make sure that we get a good seal up against the metal cabinet of the refrigerator. The one way that we like to try to check that is we can take a dollar bill or a small piece of paper, and it's really just to check to see how tight that gasket is seating up against the refrigerator cabinet. And to do that, you can basically just take a piece of paper and put it up against the cabinet of the refrigerator and close the door. You should be able to tug on that piece of paper, and it gives a little resistance as you're pulling up on it. If the piece of paper simply goes in and you pull up on it, it can slide out really easy. That's a really good indicator that the door gasket's starting to go bad. Another thing that we like to look at is to make sure the door gasket is not cracked or broken any place. A lot of times the plastic around the door gasket will start to break down, and that'll create not a very good seal against the refrigerator cabinet as well. Energy-wise, when we look at the cabinets or refrigerators or appliances that use energy, and when we start seeing things like that with the door gaskets going bad, that could easily be costing the customer anywhere from $10 to $15 a year in energy cost of lost energy it's a fairly simple thing to look at.
Waverly light and power.
Planning for tomorrow while providing for today.